All right, what is up, Coach Kyle? And I just got off a call with a new client, and I thought it'd be interesting to show you a live walkthrough of how what I do when I have a client come to me for coaching. And basically, we jumped on a call. He's been following me on Twitter and email for a few years now, I believe. And he, took notes during the call. He filled out a form prior to that, so I had some information going into it. But basically, he has lost his mojo, lost his motivation. He's defaulting to couple 4 mile runs. He's not doing any strength work. He wants to get a little faster. He'd love to go after some of his old PRs, and he's just he's settling, basically settling for not doing strength work, settling for just going out and jogging easy a couple times weekly, which is great, better than nothing. But I told him, what can we do over the next 4 or 5 weeks to have you look back upon this month, feeling really good about what you've done, and set you up for a solid spring and summer of running. And so you'll see when I kind of go through it that the plan is simple, and that's part of the beauty of it. The plan is customized to his availability, his wants, his needs, what he wants to do. Like I told him, all I'm doing is helping you make choices today that your tomorrow will be glad you did. Make choices that serve you, and it's just showing up a little bit for an easy jog, for a 15-minute strength session. So I've got my screen share. And so basically, what I do is I take the notes, and I schedule out a couple weeks in advance for a new client. And then I send them a screen recording saying, okay, here's what I have in here for the next couple weeks. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, suggestions, send them over. And so it doesn't take long to build a plan for somebody that hasn't really been doing much when we're starting from scratch or very close to it. But the beauty is in the follow-up. I'm checking in on updates from my clients Monday through Friday, once or twice a day. I have expectations of them. I had a lady start with me yesterday, and I checked in with her. What time, when are you going to go do your next run? Setting some intention setting. She said, I'm gonna do it at 6:30 after work. It's going to feel good to get out there and make that happen. So when it comes to setting up somebody's new calendar, let me zoom in here. So here's today. Basically for him, he said he's going to go out for an easy run. So I'm going to go into my library, and I'm going to put an easy run and strides in there. I'm going to put 45 minutes in for there and there. And so he said, typically, he's a stay-at-home dad, so he does everything when the kids are at school. So we're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday for him. And I told him, since we're upping your consistency and we're adding in strength work, we're going to keep everything nice and easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I'm not going to do time. He does have a 4 mile loop that he does. I like time based prescriptions for people. If the goal is to run easy, I find that for me, going into a run where it's time based, I just run a little easier, which is good. So we're going to do four, and I am going to put a Saturday run in for him, although we're going to stick with Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that way, and I told him, if the weather on Tuesday is great, do your Wednesday run a day early. If the weather, your energy levels, something comes up on Monday, do your Monday run on Tuesday. You don't even have to ask, just go for it. And so you'll see in here, it's an easy 4 with a 30-second brisk acceleration once per mile. I've got instructions here on the easiest warm-up routine in the world. If you want links to any of these strength routines, let me know, and I'll send them over. I'll hook you up. But aside from that, 3 runs he wanted to do. I asked him, what would you be really happy with over the next 4 or 5 weeks? And he's like, 3 runs and 2 or 3 strength sessions. I'm going to make this a 5 miler. 3 runs and 2 or 3 strength sessions weekly will have him feeling good. And so that's what we're going to do. He's he's had some back issues, and what he told me about his tweaking his back every 6 months or so was exactly like I could have been saying what he said. It was so funny. I told him, one time I was in the shower, I had a man bun. I was adjusting my man bun in the shower and I sneezed and poof, tweaked my back, just doing something completely silly. And so for him, and I told him, I've gone a year and a half without tweaking my back. And something that I've added in is the McGill Big Three. It's a core bracing routine. You can't say for sure, but I can tell you I've gone the longest in the last decade, like as an adult, without tweaking my back. And I've started this routine in that time period. And so I told him, we're going to have you do that a couple times weekly. And it could be, it could be what stops you from tweaking your back. It's kind of it's a rehab movement, a core back bracing routine. You can do it in 5 minutes, 10 if you want to take a little longer. And I think it helps. And so we're going to do that a couple times weekly. And I told him for some strength work, for some lower body stuff, we're just going to start with the hip routine, hip phase 1. It's easy, 15 minutes. You follow along with me on YouTube. You go through the movements and you're good to go. And then I also told him that I wanted him to get started with some upper body stuff. And I told him what I do, what most of my clients do. It's a 10 to 20, maybe 30-minute upper body core Tabata. I like Zeus Fitness here on YouTube. I go to Zeus Fitness. I search, I've got 15 minutes, 15-minute Zeus Fitness upper body. And it's, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest to switch position for the next exercise. And it feels good to get that done. I've got a 15-pound set of dumbbells. That's all I need. I use the 5 pounds sometimes for my shoulders if they're getting tired, or some drop sets. But for him, he had a little bit of hesitation, like, I've got some back issues that pop up every twice a year or so. So for him and for people who might have some kind of back concerns, I like to do this standing core upper body routine where you're not bending down doing a bunch of stuff. And so, I told him we're going to keep this simple. The goal is consistency and just checking off some wins, doing things that make you feel good. You do these things for four weeks, you're going to be showing up for yourself, for your wife, for your kids better. My wife told me, and I tell this to people now, people like you better when you're doing these things. And my job is just to help my clients do them, make it easy, make it sustainable, make it safe. So, easy for a few strength sessions, good to go. You will feel better because of this. And if you watching this want me to set you up with something like this, you want some guidance and some accountability for 1 month, for 3 months, let me know. Check out the link for some coaching info. We can go from there. And if you want to do this yourself, more power to you. That's awesome. So make it happen if you want. I like to say you can settle and you'll be fine. But if you're talking yourself out of running, if you're talking yourself out of doing strength work, and this is the key, and you're wishing you were doing it, just do it. Make it happen. And if you need some help, it's okay. That's what I'm here for.